Every time I book an all-inclusive resort, I ask myself the same question. Is it really worth it? Not just the pictures online, not the promotional videos, but the actual experience. Because vacations aren't cheap, and when you spend your hard-earned money on a trip like this, you want to know exactly what you're getting. So this time, the journey brought me to Finest Punta Cana, located on the Uvero Alto Beach in Dominican Republic. Finest is known for its modern accommodation, beautiful grounds, and a wide variety of dining options. But I wanted to see what it was really like beyond the marketing photos. Over the next few days, I explored as much of the resort as I could. From the room and the restaurants, to the pool, to the beach, to the gym, the spa, and everything in between. So if you're thinking about booking Finest Punta Cana, here's my honest experience. After a long day of traveling, pulling up to the resort is always one of my favorite moments. It's that feeling when vacations finally become real. Walking into the lobby, my first impression was just how open and welcome everything felt. The space is modern, bright, and comfortable without feeling overdone. It immediately gave me the feeling that this was going to be a relaxing stay. Our check-in process was mostly smooth. We did have a short wait before our room was ready, but honestly, it wasn't a big deal. It actually gave me a chance to walk around the lobby, take everything in, and get my first look at the resort. Those first impressions don't always tell the whole story, but they definitely set the tone, and so far Finest Punta Cana was off to a really good start. If you're anything like me, one of the first things you want to see after arriving is the room. This is where you'll begin every morning and end every evening, so it is an important part of the overall experience. From the moment I walked in, I could tell this wasn't your typical standard resort room. Everything felt modern, clean, and thoughtfully designed. It immediately gave off a more upscale feel. The layout was open and functional, with plenty of space to unpack and settle in. I appreciate the clean design and attention to detail. Nothing felt outdated or overcrowded. It was a room that felt comfortable from the start. The minibar also featured 3 full bottles of alcohol, which is a nice added touch. The bathroom continued the same modern look, with a spacious layout and plenty of room to get ready without feeling cramped. There was also a separate private toilet area, which added an extra level of comfort and privacy. I really liked the double vanity, which made it easy for 2 people to get ready at the same time without feeling crowded. On top of that, there was a separate jacuzzi bathtub in the room overlooking the balcony. One of my favorite features was the private balcony. Having a jacuzzi outside gave the room something extra, whether it was relaxing after dinner or simply enjoying a quiet moment. It became one of my favorite places to unwind during my stay. Sometimes it's the quiet moments that end up becoming your favorite memories. Sitting outside, looking over the resort, it was easy to slow down, enjoy being away from the everyday routine. Overall, I thought the room was one of the highlights of Finest Punta Cana. It was modern, comfortable, and had everything I needed for a relaxing stay. It's the kind of room you actually look forward to coming back to after a full day around the resort. But as nice as the room was, there was still a lot more to explore. So let's head outside and take a look at everything Finest Punta Cana has to offer. Stepping outside the room, it didn't take long to realize how well the resort is laid out. Everywhere I looked, there was palm trees, tropical plants, and beautifully maintained gardens that gave the resort a peaceful atmosphere. Some resorts can feel overwhelming because of their size, but Finest did a great job balancing space with convenience. Whether I was heading to breakfast, walking to the beach, or making my way to dinner, getting around always felt simple and intuitive. Everything felt connected, making it easier to explore without constantly checking the map or wondering where to go next. One thing I really appreciated was the landscaping. One thing I really liked about the layout of Finest Punta Cana was how natural every area flowed into the next. As we continued exploring, we came across the Flamingo Garden Playground, a fun play area centered around a giant flamingo slide that younger guests would probably love. From there, the path leads into the splash pool for kids. And then a mini water park for tots, creating a family-friendly space where little ones can play safely before the area gradually opens into the resort main pool. It's a thoughtful design because everything feels connected rather than scattered throughout the property. Even if you're traveling without kids, it's easy to appreciate how well the resort balanced family space with areas designed for guests looking for a quieter atmosphere. Early in the morning, the main pool has a completely different feel. Before the music starts to play, before the chairs begin to fill up, it's surprisingly peaceful. It's one of those moments where you can really appreciate the beauty of the resort before the day gets going. As the morning goes on, the atmosphere begins to change. More guests make their way down, the pool starts to come alive, and you can really feel the energy of the resort starting to build. During my visit, I caught one of the pool's exercise sessions. It was great to see guests of all ages get involved. If you enjoy a more active vacation, there always seems to be something happening around the main pool. One feature that's hard to miss is the large blue inflatable climbing structure in the pool. It quickly became a favorite for families, giving kids another way to enjoy the water beyond simply swimming. It's details like this that help make the main pool feel lively and family-friendly. One thing I always try to capture is what it actually feels like to be there. Walking through the pool gives you a completely different perspective than standing on the deck. It gives you a better sense of the size of the area, the atmosphere.
We are in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic, the best country for the vacation. It's David, the best one here.
Of course, no great pool is complete without a swim-up bar. Whether you wanted to cool off with a frozen drink or simply relax without leaving the water, it's one of those features that adds to the overall vacation experience. The atmosphere here stayed fun, but it never felt overly crowded or out of control. Overall, I really enjoyed spending time around the main pool. Whether you wanted a quiet morning, an afternoon activity, or just a place to cool off with a drink, this area offered a little bit of everything. While the main pool is definitely the center of action, it's certainly not the only option. One thing I appreciated about Finest was the variety of pools spread throughout the property, giving guests the flexibility to choose the atmosphere that best fits their day. Whether you wanted the lively pool with activities or a quieter place to unwind, there was always another option just a short walk away. Throughout the resort, you'll find several whirlpools and additional pools that help spread guests out. Guests staying at the Finest Club have access to exclusive pool area. While neighboring excellent Punta Cana featured adult-only pools designed for a quieter experience. I'll be taking a much closer look at Excellent's side in a future video. So if that's something that you're interested in, please be sure to subscribe. As much as I enjoy pools, whenever I'm in Punta Cana, I always find myself drawn to the beach. So let's head down to the shoreline and see what Finest Punta Cana has to offer. Finest Punta Cana is located along the Uvero Alto Beach on the Atlantic coast of the Dominican Republic. One of the first things that stood out to me was the contrast between the warm golden sand and the deep aqua blue water stretching along the coastline. It's a beautiful stretch of coastline, but it's also important to understand that Uvero Alto offers a different beach experience than some other calmer beaches further south around Barbado. Because this is the Atlantic side of Punta Cana, the water here tends to be rougher, with more wave action throughout the day. Personally, I enjoy hearing the waves and watching the ocean in motion. If you're looking for calm, crystal clear water every day, it's something worth considering before booking. During my stay, there was some seasonal sargassum or seaweed along parts of the beach. It definitely wasn't the worst I've seen in Punta Cana, but I always wanted to show you exactly what I experienced. One thing I appreciated was seeing the staff out working throughout the day to keep the beach as clean as possible. Seaweed conditions can change significantly depending on the season, so your experience may be different. As I continue walking along the shorelines, you can also see neighboring resorts and a few local beachfront buildings. I actually like including these views because it gives you a more realistic perspective of the area. Even with the rougher Atlantic water and some seasonal seaweed, I still enjoy spending time in here. The wide beach, the ocean views, and the sound of the waves creates a relaxing atmosphere that's unique to this part of Punta Cana. As I made my way back from the beach, I passed La Duna's Beach House, the resort casual beachfront restaurant. While I didn't get a chance to eat there during my stay, as for me, the restaurants and buffet I did experience ended up being one of the biggest highlights of my stay. And that's where we're headed next. After spending time at the beach, one thing became very clear. It was time to eat. And one of the things I was most looking forward to during this trip was seeing how the dining compared to some of the other all-inclusive resorts I visit throughout the Dominican Republic. Finest Punta Cana offers several restaurants throughout the property, but I found myself returning to Market Kitchen, the resort's international buffet. Every morning usually started here. One thing I appreciated immediately was how spacious the buffet felt. Even during our busier breakfast hours, it never felt chaotic or difficult to move around. Breakfast offered just about everything you could expect, from made-to-order omelets and traditional American breakfast favorites. Whether you prefer something light or wanted a full breakfast before heading to the pool or beach, there were plenty of choices. And local Dominican specialties. I appreciate the variety of fresh fruit, pastries, coffee, and juice available each morning. It's one of those meals that often get overlooked in resort reviews, but it's the meal you'll probably eat every single day. By lunchtime, the atmosphere changes completely. The breakfast station gives way to an even larger variety of international cuisines, making each visit feel a little different from the last. One thing I always look for when I visit another country is the opportunity to try the local cuisine. And I was happy to see Dominican dishes available alongside the international selection. It gives guests a chance to experience a little bit of a local culture without ever leaving the resort. Beyond the Dominican specialties, there was also a variety of American favorites. Asian-inspired dishes, Italian selections, fresh salads, seafood, fruits, desserts, and even gluten-free options. I thought the overall variety was excellent, especially for guests staying several days who want something different each meal. Quality is always more important than quantity, and that's where I think the Market Kitchen really stood out. The food wasn't just plentiful, it was consistently fresh, well prepared, and nicely presented throughout the stay. Then it brings yet another completely different atmosphere. The lighting changed, the presentation becomes even more elegant, and the buffet expands with additional dinner selections. One thing I really liked was the breakfast, lunch, and dinner each felt like their own experiences, instead of simply repeating the same food throughout the day. That made coming back to the buffet feel worthwhile instead of predictable. One small touch I always appreciate when visiting the Dominican Republic is having access to fresh coconut. It's a simple detail, but sitting by the pool with a fresh coconut in hand is one of those little vacation moments that feels right. Not every meal has to be a sit-down experience, and that's something I really liked about Finest. Located near the pool area is La Pita, a casual food truck that's perfect if you're looking for something quick without having to change clothes or head inside. I always appreciate when resorts include a casual dining like this because sometimes you just want a quick bite between the pool and the beach instead of sitting down for a full meal. Having options like this add another layer of convenience throughout the day. From quick bites by the pool to elegant and specialty restaurants in the evening, Finest Punta Cana offers a dining experience that caters to just about every mood. Speaking of specialty restaurants, let's take a look at a few that I had the opportunity to experience. As the sun began to set, the atmosphere around the resort changes. It is time to experience one of the finest specialty restaurants. One of the restaurants I had the opportunity to visit was Shoji, the resort Japanese restaurant featuring hibachi-style dining along with a la carte options. The atmosphere here felt completely different from the buffet, offering a more interactive dining experience. One of the highlights of hibachi dining is watching the chef prepare your meal right in front of you. It's part dinner, part entertainment, and it's always fun seeing everyone around the table get involved in the experience. The portions were generous, everything was prepared fresh in front of us, and it made for a really enjoyable evening. If you're traveling with a family or group, this is definitely one of the restaurants I recommend adding to your list. After the excitement of hibachi, the next stop was the Italian restaurant. The atmosphere here was quieter and more intimate, making it a nice change of pace. The Italian restaurant focused on classic Italian-inspired dishes served in a relaxed setting. Whether you were celebrating something special or simply looking for a slower dinner after a full day around the resort, this restaurant offered a comfortable place to unwind. Of course, no resort in this category would be complete without a great steakhouse. Was Brass Steakhouse, the resort's signature steakhouse. By this point in the trip, one thing had become clear. The resort offered enough variety that dinner never felt repetitive. Every evening had its own atmosphere. And of course, no vacation is complete without dessert. If you have a sweet tooth, you'll probably find yourself making at least one stop at the Sweet Corner. It's one of those places that's hard to walk past without taking a look inside. From pastries and cakes to cookies, chocolate and other desserts, there are plenty to choose from. It was also a nice place to stop for coffee or a quick treat between activities or after dinner. During my stay, room service was reliable, the food arrived in a reasonable amount of time, and it was a convenient option after a long day around the resort. Sometimes it's nice to slow things down. And if you're the type of traveler who likes to stay active while on vacation, Finest gives you plenty of ways to do that. There are tennis courts for guests who wants to get a game in during the day. Along with basketball if you want to switch things up. And for something a little more casual, there's ping pong. And even a pool table for some friendly competition. I also came across a guest playing volleyball near the beach. And if baseball is more your thing, there's even an area near the beach where guests could get some swings in. None of these activities take over the vacation, but I like having options. If staying active is part of your vacation routine, the fitness center here is definitely worth a look. It's a really nice, well-equipped gym with a good mix of cardio equipment, including treadmills, along with free weights and other equipment for a more complete workout. So if fitness is important to you when you travel, you won't have to sacrifice your routine here. The gym is spacious, well equipped, and offer more than I expected from a resort fitness center. There's also a separate room dedicated to aerobics and fitness activity, which gives guests a little more space if they prefer a classic style workout or something away from the main gym floor. And I really like the little extra touch. They also have a healthy drinks and fresh fruit available, so you could grab something refreshing after your workout. And if you'd rather spend your vacation relaxing than working out, the resort has something for you too. If relaxation is more of your speed, then the resort also has a spa. The spa provided another option for guests who wanted to slow things down and add a little wellness to their vacation. Having a spa on the property is definitely convenient, especially if you're looking to add a treatment or some quiet time to your stay. And once the sun goes down, the resort has a place to keep the day going. One of them is Legend Sports Bar. This is the kind of place where you can grab a drink, catch a game, and hang out with friends, or just get out the room for a little while. I like having a sport bar option on an all-inclusive, because not every night has to be a show or a formal dinner. Sometimes you just want somewhere to casual to hang out. And after a full day between the pool, beach, food, and activities, this gives you another place to settle in and enjoy the evening. So after experiencing a resort for myself, I can say that Finest Punta Cana left me with a very positive impression. The rooms were comfortable, the food exceeded my expectations, the pools gave you plenty of choices, and there was enough around the property to keep you busy without making you feel overwhelmed. The beach does come with the realities of this part of the Dominican Republic, rougher Atlantic conditions and some sargassum during our visit, but I still felt the coastline beautiful. And the welcoming staff, the recreation, the gym, the spa, the different places to eat and relax, there's a lot here to enjoy. Would I recommend Finest Punta Cana? Based on my experience, yes. It's not about being perfect. It's about whether the overall experience is worth it. And for me, it was. Until next time, every stop tells a story. This is Next Stop Travel with MJ. Every stop tells a story.